Hello everyone, and welcome to my Emmerdale news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Emmerdale tonight saw Belle Dingle stop allowing everyone else rule her life and take command of it alone at last. She did the proper thing by reporting everything to the authorities at the same time he was making up a robbery tale. It would be greatly appreciated if the end is near. True, Belle was understandably distraught about the deceit, and now the Dingles are hatching a plot to have her flee to Ireland. Despite Belle's initial resistance, she eventually agreed to travel when Lydia took over. Lydia must be insane to believe this is a good idea, still, we remain perplexed. Then, Belle crept away from Mandy while claiming to need a luggage. However, she made it to Tom's hospital bedside just in time, giving him a full minute to spare before his deadline. Making a deal was his goal. He threatened not to report him to the authorities until she quit lying, an abusive tactic he used while manipulating and gaslighting her. Belle stood up to him and insisted it was self-defense. He continued to manipulate, insisting his tale was the one that would hold up in court. Employing his typical approaches, focusing on her mental wellness, Belle found herself agreeing. But then he insisted on a kiss to seal the deal. He seemed to find physical contact with her to be excessive. Later, Tom actually held to his part of the bargain and recounted his lies to the police that he was attacked by two individuals who were trying to rob him. He detailed them in great detail as the cops took notes and Jimmy listened in horror to his tall narrative. Tom even insisted despite her frail state there was no way Belle would ever have stuck an axe in his back, big error. Huge. But it turned out Belle had double-crossed him. Exactly at that moment, she was at the police station, taking her authority back. Having dug out the axe, Belle informed the desk sergeant she was the victim of domestic abuse and attacked her husband in self-defense. Hopefully her persuading Tom into informing the cops his lies would aid her case. Either way, this is finally the proper move for Belle after the plot took a somewhat questionable turn, and we can only trust the soap gods, or the producers, see fit to give us the correct outcome. Fed up with being mollycoddled, Moira was not delighted when Ruby was invited round to babysit her. But Ruby, in classic Ruby manner, just barged in and started exploring her way about the kitchen. It's apparent a bond is building between these two and we enjoy it. Ruby even almost opened out about missing her mum, but then opted not to. However, Mac quickly wrecked things when he came screaming in and announced the sheep had escaped, the sheep Moira had freshly acquired as pets for Isaac on an impulse. He sat Moira down and attempted to explain to her she needed to quit battling him on everything. He informed her she couldn't work alone and she grew tearful, but promised to try to keep away from the farming. It later turned out Isaac had left the gate open and Mac was compelled to apologize. But something tells us he's not wrong about her working alone. After deciding their sex session was merely a one-off, Laurel decided to quit the church committee. Charles was a bit angry and tried to find out what's going on in Laurel's thoughts by probing Nicola. Not the finest idea, as Nicola's about as unsubtle as a brick. She instantly twigged something had transpired between them and raced round to visit her mate for all the gossip. After Nicola lured Laurel into giving her the truth, Laurel opened up and said she'd slept with the vicar. But then Charles came round and the situation was rather unpleasant. Nicola got the point and fled quick smart. As Laurel and Charles bickered again, Charles let slip he found her irresistible. She attempted to be responsible and insist it was finished, but it was evident that isn't what one of them wanted. What do they want? We're not really sure, but odds are it's a bit more afternoon fun. Needing to get rid of his stolen smart watches smart, Aaron needed a vehicle. He asked Mac, who urged him to ask John. But John wasn't playing ball and wouldn't lend Aaron his van. After John's weak secret reveal last week and now tonight, If Aaron stealing smart watches is the best they can give Danny Miller and Oliver Farnworth to do, split these two up now and spare us any more hours of this dull guff. Emmerdale tonight saw Tom wake up in hospital. Will he tell the police who was responsible for putting him there? Meanwhile, Moira's attitude continued to disturb her family, and Aaron was questioned by the police regarding some stolen watches. Amelia and Jimmy continued to share one brain cell as they waited for news on Tom at the hospital. A doctor soon put them out of their anguish when she informed them that Tom was improving. With police waiting to talk to Tom, Amelia decided to get her side of things across and informed them that it was Belle. Jimmy said it could have been Kane, but Amelia crushed that idea and reminded him Kane was definitely in Scotland. "I'm Amelia, his girlfriend," which Belle was really jealous about, Amelia told the cops, with a straight face no less. Amelia told the police that Belle wanted to punish Tom, with Jimmy adding, "It doesn't take a genius to work out what happened." Clearly. Later, once Tom was awake, Jimmy asked Tom if it was Belle. But Tom didn't answer. When questioned by the police, Tom stated that he couldn't recall what happened. "It's blank," he remarked. But he stated he thinks he was meeting someone. Idiot Jimmy continued to float Belle's name around and told Tom not to cover for her. Once Jimmy had left, it was shown Tom did in fact remember what transpired. He contacted Belle and instructed her to visit him by 1 p.m. tomorrow. He cautioned her not to tell anyone or he would tell the cops everything. Sam, Lydia, and Charity continued to worry about Belle. When Lydia assured Belle that Tom was out of danger, Belle stated she might as well hand herself in. However, Charity pointed at herself and said, "You have an alibi now." When authorities questioned Belle, Charity said she and Belle had been on a lengthy stroll at the time of the attack. The police queried Belle about her connection with Tom and she simply responded, "He was difficult to live with." Which must be a contender for understatement of the century. The Dingles aren't the sharpest lot and didn't quite get their tail straight, with Lydia and Charity contradicting one another. After Lydia said they were all fond of Tom, Charity remarked the police could take their pick of potential suspects because he's not very popular. Moira was annoyed when Maddie arrived with his baggage and told her he was staying for a while. She stated she didn't need a babysitter, but Maddie lied that he was only there because he was sick of Amy and Amelia's turmoil. When Matt came in to check on her under the premise that he needed a drink, Moira continued to swear she was well and didn't need to be checked up on. She then promised her small son Isaac that he might have his own sheep. Mac advised her it wasn't a smart idea, but she pressed on with the plan. In an alarming moment, Isaac begged his mum, "And you won't kill them?" She promised him that no she wouldn't, oh dear. Later, Maddie and Mac learned Moira had left the house alone and quickly went searching for her. Mac discovered her returning from the farm up the road where she'd placed an order for Isaac's sheep. Moira urged Mac to stop treating her like a child and then instructed Maddie to pack his things and go home because she was okay. But is she really? Aaron and John continued to flirt, their own version of flirting nonetheless. John gave us all a bit too much information when he warned Aaron, "I can't promise you a good night's sleep." Thanks, John. Later, John watched on as a policeman approached Aaron. He questioned him if he knew about any stolen watches as his automobile had been noticed near the scene of the crime. A blatantly guilty Aaron denied all knowledge and joyfully showed the policeman the boot of his car, which was empty bar a few of tools. Where has he hidden them? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.